Cantos 82 to 84 of Book 2 of the Ramayana of Valmiki, translated by Ralph T.H. Griffith. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Om123. Canto 82. The Departure. The prudent prince the assembly viewed, thronged with its noble multitude, resplendent as a cloudless night, when the full moon is in his height. While robes of every varied hue, a glory over the Sinai trio, then priest in law of duty skilled, looked on the crowd, the hall that filled, and then in accents soft and grave, to Bharat thus his counsel gave. The king, dear son, so good and wise, has gone from art and gained the skies, leaving to thee, our rightful lord, this rich wide land with poison stored. And still has faithful Rama stood, firm to the duty of the good, and kept his father's hester right, as the moon keeps its own dear light. Thus sire and brother yield to thee this realm, from all annoyance free. Rejoice, thy lords, enjoy thine own, anointed king, ascend the throne. Let vassal princes hasten forth, from distant lands, west, south, and north, from Kerala, from every sea, and bring 10,000,000 gems to thee. As thus the seas Vasistha spoke, a storm of grief over Bharat broke, and longing to be just and true, his thoughts to duteous Rama flew. With sobs and sighs and broken tones, even as a wounded mallard moans, he mourned with deepest sorrow moved, and thus the holy priest reproved. Oh, how can such as Bharat dare the power and sway from him to tear, wise and devout and true and chaste, with scripture law and virtue graced? Can one of Dasarath's seed be guilty of so vile a deed? The realm and I are Rama's. Thou shouldst speak the words of justice now. For he, to claims of virtue true, is eldest born and noblest too. Nahush, Dilip could not be more famous in their lives than he. As Dasarath ruled of right, so Rama's is the power and right. If I should do this sinful deed, and forfeit hope of heavenly meed, my guilty act would dim the shine of old Ikshaku's glorious line. Nay, as the sin my mother wrought is grievous to my inmost thought, I here, my hands together laid, will greet him in the pathless shade. To Rama shall my steps be bent, my king of man most excellent, Raghu's illustrious son, whose sway might hell and earth and heaven obey. That righteous speech, whose every word bore virtue's stamp, the audience heard. On Rama every thought was set, and with glad tears each eye was wet. Then, if the power I still should lack to bring my noble brother back, I in the wood will dwell and share his banishment with Lakshman there. By every art persuasive I to bring him from the wood will try, and show him to your loving eyes, O Brahmans noble, good and wise. Even now the road to make and clear, each laborer pressed and pioneer, have I sent forward to proceed, the army I resolve to lead. Thus by fraternal love possessed, his firm resolve the prince expressed. Then to Sumantra deeply read, in holy texts he turned and said, Sumantra, rise without delay, and as I bid my words obey. Give orders for the march with speed, and all the army heed or lead. The wise Sumantra thus addressed, obeyed the high-souled chief's behest. He hurried forth with joy inspired, and gave the orders he desired. Delight each soldier's bosom filled, and through each chief and captain thrilled, to hear that march proclaimed to bring dear Rama back from wandering. From house to house the tidings flew, each soldier's wife the order knew, and as she listened blithe and gay, her husband urged to speed away. Captain and soldier soon declared, their host equipped and all prepared, with chariots matching taut for speed, and wagons drawn by ox and steed, when Bharat by Vasistha's side his ready host of warriors eyed. Thus in Sumantra's ear he spoke, my car and horses quickly yoke. Sumantra hastened to fulfill, with ready joy his master's will, and quickly with the chariot sped, drawn by fleet horses nobly bred. Then glorious Bharat, true devout, whose genuine valour none could doubt, gave in fit words his order out, for he would seek the shade of the great distant wood and dare win his dear brother with his prayer. Sumatra, haste, my will declare, the host be all arrayed, I to the wood my way will take, to Rama supplication make, and for the world's advantage's sake will lead him home again. Then ordered thus the charioteer, who listened with delighted ear, went forth and gave his orders clear to captains of the train. He gave the popular chiefs the word, and with the news his friends he steered, and not a single man deferred, preparing for the road. Then Brahman, warrior, merchant, thrall, obedient to Sumantra's call, each in his house arose, and all, yoked elephant or camel tall, or ass or noble steed in stall, and the full appointed showed. Canto 83. The journey began. Then Bharat rose at early morn, and in his noble chariot borne, drove forward at a rapid pace, eager to look on Rama's face. The priests and lords, a fair array, in sun-bright chariots led the way. Behind, a well-appointed throng, 9,000 elephants streamed along. Then 60,000 cars, and then, with various arms, came fighting men. 100,000 archers showed, in lengthened line the steeds they rode, a mighty host, the march to grace of Bharat, pride of Raghu's race. Kaikeyi and Sumitra came, and good Kaushalya, dear to fame. By hopes of Rama's coming cheered, they in a radiant car appeared. On fared the noble host to see Rama and Lakshman, wild with glee, and steal each other's ear to please. Of Rama spoke in words like these: When shall our happy eyes behold our hero true and pure and bold, so lustrous dark, so strong of arm, who keeps the world from woe and harm? The tears that now our eyeballs dim will vanish at the sight of him, and as the whole world's black shadows fly when the bright sun ascends the sky. Conversing thus, their way pursued the city's joyous multitude, and each in mutual rapture pressed a friend or neighbor to his breast. Thus every man of high renown, and every merchant of the town, and leading subjects joyous went toward Rama in his banishment. And those who walk the potter's wheel, and artists skill in gems to deal, and masters of the weaver's art, and those who shape the sword and dart, and they who golden trinkets made, and those who plied the fuller's trade, and servants trained the bat to heat, and they who dealt in incense sweet, physicians in their business skilled, and those who wine and mead distilled, and workmen deft in glass who wrought, and those whose snares the peacock caught, with them who bore the ear for rings, or sought or fashioned ivory things, and those who knew to mix cement, or lived by cell of precious scent, and man who washed, and man who sewed, and thralls who mid the hearts abode, and fishers of the flood and day, who played and sung, and women gay, and virtuous Brahmins scripture-wise, of life approved in all men's eyes. These swelled the princess' Langdon train, borne each in car or bullock wain. Fair were the robes they wore upon, their limbs were red-hued unguent sun. These all in various modes conveyed their journey after Bharat made. The soldiers' hearts with rapture glowed, following Bharat on his road, their chief, whose tender love would fain bring his dear brother home again. With elephant and horse and car, the vast procession travelled far, and came where Ganga's waves below the town of Sringavera flow. There, with his friends and kinsmen nigh, dwelt Guha, Rama's dear ally, heroic guardian of the land, with dauntless heart and ready hand. There, for a while, the mighty foes that followed Bharat stayed its course, gazing on Ganga's bosom stirred by many a graceful water bird. When Bharat viewed his followers there, and Ganga's water blessed and fair, the prince, who law of words possessed, his counsellors and lords addressed. The captains of the army called, proclaimed this day a halt for all, that so tomorrow rested we may cross this flood that seeks the sea. Meanwhile, ascending to the shore, the funeral stream I fain would pour, from Ganga's fair auspicious tide, to him my father glorified. Thus Bharat spoke, its peer and lord approved his words with one accord, and bade the weary troops repose in separate spots wherever they chose. There by the mighty stream that day, most glorious in its vast array, the prince's wearied army lay in various groups reclined. There Bharat's hour of night was spent, while every eager thought he bent on bringing home from banishment his brother great of mind. Canto 84. Guha's Anger. King Guha saw the host spread over the wide expanse of Ganga's shore, with waving flag and pennon graced, and to his followers spoke in haste. A mighty army meets my eyes, that rivals ocean's self in size. Wherever I look my very mind no limit to the host can find. Sure, Bharat with some evil thought his army to our land has brought. See, hues of form his flag he rears, that like an ebony tree appears. He comes with bonds to take and chain, or triumph over our people slain, and after Rama will he slay him whom his father drove away. The power complete he longs to gain, and task too hard are subterrane. So Bharat comes with wicked will, his brother Rama's blood to spill. But Rama's slave and friend am I, he is my lord and dear ally. Keep here our watching arms arrayed, near Ganga's flood to lend him aid, and let my gathered servants stand, and line with troops the river stand. Here let the river keepers meet, who flesh and roots and berries eat. 100 fishersmen each boat, of the 500 here afloat. And let the youthful and the strong assemble in defensive throng. But yet, if, free from guilty thought, against Rama he this land have sought, the prince's happy host to-day across the flood shall make its way. He spoke, then bearing in a dish a gift of honey, meat, and fish, the king of the Nishadas drew toward Bharat for an interview. When Bharat's noble charioteer observed the monarch hastening near, he duly, skilled in courteous lore, the tidings to his master bore. This aged prince, who hither bends his footsteps with 1,000 friends, knows from a lie of Rama all that may in Dandak Ood befall. Therefore Kakutsta's son admit the monarch as is right and fit, for doubtless he can clearly tell where Rama now and Lakshman dwell. When Bharat heard Sumatra's read, to his fair words the prince agreed. Go quickly forth, he cried, and bring before my face the aged king. King Guha, with his kinsman near, rejoiced the summoning to hear. He nearer drew, bowed low his head, and thus to royal Bharat said, No mansions can our country boast, and unexpected comes thy host. But what we have I give thee all, rest in the lodging of thy thrall. See, the Nisads here have brought the fruit and roots their hands have sought, and we have woodland fare beside, and store of meat both fresh and dried. To rest their weary limbs, I pray, this night at least thy host may stay. Then cheered with all we can bestow, tomorrow thou with it mayst go. End of Cantos 82, 83, and 84.